Hey you guys, today's September 11th. It's lesson 1.2, day 2. Your learning target is we will be able to solve multi-step equations so that we can apply this knowledge for the rest of the year. Here on side 1, I'm going to have you taking some notes. You're going to solve the two equations. The first one is solving for n, and the second one is solving for x. Make sure you put this in your comp book, your notebook, whatever you're doing to take notes. Here on slide 2, I'm going to have you practice the distributive property. Remember that the distributive property means that you take the number that is outside and you got to multiply it to what's inside. So for instance, on this first problem, 2 needs to be multiplied to the 2x, which will get you to 4x, and then the 2 needs to be multiplied to the negative 4, which will get you to negative 8. So your answer will be 4x minus 8. Practice these in your comp book so that you have them as notes. Here on slide 3, you are going to solve equations using these 5 steps. So step 1 says use the distributive property. You're going to use the distributive property if you see parentheses within the problem. If you don't see parentheses, then you're going to go on to step 2, which is combining like terms. So remember that like terms, you guys, are like x and x. So those would be your like terms. On step 3, you will be using addition or subtraction. Finally, step 4, so your equation's getting smaller and smaller, so you're getting closer to your variable by itself. On step 4, you're going to use multiplication or division. I'm going to tell you right now that 9 out of 10 times you're going to be using division. There are only rare cases when you're going to use multiplication. And then lastly, you will get your solution. On this slide, now remember, just because you see the pear deck on the bottom, you're at home, you're not going to be doing the pear deck. So here on slide 7, again, in your comp book, I'm giving you some practice problems using the distributive property. So I want you to practice these 4 problems using the distributive property and then solving. On the next slide is a little bit more involved distributive property where I'm going to have you doing all 5 steps of equation solving. Start with distributive property, combining like terms, addition or subtraction, multiplication or division, and then you'll get to your solution. These ones are a little bit more challenging. Here on slide 6, you're going to grade your homework from yesterday. Slide 8, numbers 1 through 7, you were supposed to do. Remember that each problem is worth 2 points, 1 for work, 1 for answer. So when you're grading your homework, you're going to get a total of 14 points because there are 7 problems. On this next slide, it doesn't apply to you because you're at home. On this side here, this is what you're going to do for your in-class assignment. You're going to do numbers 1 through 8. On number 8, I underlined because it is no longer a triangle, it is a quadrilateral, and in fact, they call it a parallelogram. A parallelogram equals 360 degrees. So I threw in a little bit challenge here so that it's not just a triangle, now you're using a quadrilateral. So remember to set your equation equal to 360 degrees. And then lastly, once you're done with that assignment, complete your exit ticket and the daily attendance and agenda. I hope you have a good weekend. Bye.